Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Hi, if you're new, I'm Mercy Hyde, and today we're doing another episode of Mercy Reacts. Pulse Kebab has me going through these Band-Maid documentaries, and today we are doing Misa's. I've been looking forward to this one. I absolutely love bass and everything to do with bass. If you have a groovy bass line in your music, I'm absolutely going to give it a chance. It's just, and I think like bass players just go so overlooked for no apparent reason. Um, I look forward to this one. If you haven't already, I have reacted so far to Seiki and Konami and Akane. And sorry, I'm still getting used to their names. And now Misa, and then I was told to do Miku last because there's 3 parts to hers. So let's get on into it. I look forward to it. These are so well made. So let's go.
じゃあ次はベースミサにしま
ミ
しょう
サちゃん。
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート。
本当に
That's not surprising. She's a bassist. I too enjoy some whiskey here and there, but I don't get drunk though. Just a little.
この人酔っ払うんです。
ねえ、もう本当に2時間とかはまあ長いとやったり
すると結構後半はもうフラフラというか、もうベロベロというか
ベロベロですぽね。出来上
Oh,
がりつつある
jeez.
感じですぽ
かなっ
ね。
て感じ。
まあでもよりね、なんだろう、グルービー
良
なベー
くなるの。
スを
そうベースの演奏が良くなるから
緊張しいだったりちょっとするところがあるので、
ピュアだから
とてもバンドメイドで一番純粋な心を
そう見た目はねクールビューティーな、
クールビューティー
アジアンビューティーな感じなんだけど、
海外からのね人気はすごいですぽね。
一番ですね。
ミサってすごいコールが起きるぐらい。
だって怖い印象を受けるもんね。最初は
あんまりこう喋らないからね。
I love how everyone's always scared of the one that doesn't talk much. Sometimes we're just quiet, not shy, guys.
そう怖い人だと思ってましたっていうコメントよく見る。
ね、でも小学生みたいなねことですごいくだらないことでミサちゃん一番笑うし、
変顔もすごいする。
もう一番そういうの大好きだもんね。だから怖いとは一番真逆にいる。
一番面白い人かもしれない。
そうだっぽね。バンドメイドの一番面白い人だっぽね、きっと。
With an introduction like that, I think we can figure out who's going to be highlighted in today's video. So today, let's talk about MISA. MISA was born on October 15th in Okayama, a prefecture close to Osaka, and next to Hyogo, where Akane was born. According to her mother, she was an easy child to raise as she used to play by herself. Even though she was a lively child, she always avoided dangerous situations and tried to act like an adult. She loved music and arts in general, but hated studying. And just like Konami and Akane, music has been a part of Misa's life since her early childhood, as she started to learn piano when she was around 4.
This is like a common thing over there for them to learn piano. I just noticed like everybody's starting off on piano. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a very good instrument, and at least even, it's really good with, helping with development of the brain and everything like that. But I was just noticed like, is that like a usual thing? Like even if they don't like turn to music as a career?
Elementary school, she joined a brass band and played alto horn. Right when she entered junior high school, MISA moved to Tokyo due to family circumstances, and her temper changed a lot. She had a hard time fitting in with life in the big city. And
my temper would change a lot too if there are that many people. Jeez.
getting along with her peers from the same grade. She was also afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade, she started to play guitar, but ended up joining a concert band in 9th grade, where she played the trumpet. Even though she did learn a lot of different instruments, she kept learning piano for a few years. In high school, she played as a guitarist vocalist in a Keon club with a Fender Squire model that she bought. One day, an older friend of Misa asked her if she could join his band as a bassist. Until then, she'd never thought about playing bass. She started to play guitar and always wanted to play drums, but bass? It had never crossed her mind. Misa borrowed a bass and started to play, and even though it was difficult, she loved it and bought a Squire P bass immediately so she could give back the bass she borrowed. And one of the main reasons Misa got introduced to music at such an early age was that her mother listened to music all the time. This is how Misa got to hear bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and The Who when she was still only in kindergarten.
Makes a lot of sense with her playing.
Her mother was also very supportive and helped Misa choose the right school when she hesitated between university and professional college. Misa started a course on sound engineering in a professional college before changing to a bass course, as she didn't want to work behind a stage, but on stage as a professional bassist. Before talking about Band-Maid, let's take a look at Misa's past experience in the music.
I do have to say, I do enjoy how their culture over there sees being a musician as a profession, whereas here in the States, it's not really like it is, but it's not like if you tell somebody you're going to school for an instrument or anything like that, they're kind of just be like, oh, well, that's going to be useless, blah, 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 which I think we have to work on over here because like even music programs are like cut from schools and stuff like that, which makes zero freaking sense at all. But it happens, and I wish a little bit of that, from over there would come over here and be like, hey, you could make a living doing this stuff. Doing stuff you enjoy. Why does it always have to be something stuffy? You're forced to do something else. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to people older than me. They're like, hey, I used to play guitar and I really, really wanted to take, classes on it and be more professional and have that be my profession. But I became a lawyer instead because it just, made the most sense and all this kind of stuff. Like they put stuff aside, whereas like over there, it seems like, hey, you want to be in this profession, and they have like respect for the profession. So that's really, really cool.
Music industry. Except for small bands during her school years, Misa had been a member of a band named Prototype for 5.5 years between 2008 and 2013. Prototype was a small band composed of 4 members, and the band made at least 2 mini-albums and performed several live concerts. We don't have that much information, but it seems that they sold their CDs directly and not via music stores. They used to perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where Misa lived. And
That I don't know why that town name gave my brain happy brain tingles. I like when words flow together really well. It's just a thing. Again, it's a rhythm thing. And even when I'm listening to different languages, like the ones that have like this cool rhythm stuff, it sticks with me. Don't ask. Okay, play.
Shibuya. There is a review of one of their live performances which states that they sound like the Smashing Pumpkins and are appealing to everyone who loves Western music. The person who wrote this review also said that they couldn't stop smiling. It sounds like this band must have played some great music. But that's not all. While she was playing for Prototype, Misa joined another band called Hurtist. This band was formed with 6 members who performed live several times before disbanding in October 2012. You can find 3 of their live videos on their YouTube channel. Misa and Akane also met in 2012 as they were going to the same school, the Tokyo Music School. they connected immediately as instrumentalists and worked together on several projects. The same year, they made an appearance as actors in an MV of the singer-actress Becky with the song Yoruka Switch. In 2015, MISA, along with Konami and Akane, were at the 5th anniversary party of the idol band Predia in Zepp, Tokyo, as a backing band. You do remember the link between Predia and Band-Maid, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Konami, and 3 members from Predia. All right, we are in May 2013. Prototype announced that they will disband in July, and Band-Maid posted an audition announcement on May 29th. The next month, on June 5th, MISA announced on her old account linked to Prototype that she's going to an audition. Does this mean that MISA had the perfect timing to join Band-Maid? Let's see how she was recruited. In another interview, MISA confirmed that Akane tried to recruit her into Band-Maid right when Prototype announced their disbanding. But Akane didn't know about this information, so she was bold enough to invite MISA to join another band. And it paid off. Now, MISA has said that she was in izakaya when Akane called her, and she was pretty drunk, so she had to take at least the night to think about it. MISA listened to the demo and found that the songs were proper rock music and cool. She was actually afraid that this band would be an idol band. As she didn't want to stop playing bass, MISA quickly accepted the invitation to join Band-Maid the day after Akane talked to her. So in the end, Miku recruited Konami, who was found on Nico Nico. And then Konami recruited Akane just after the restaurant she was working at closed, and Akane recruited MISA just after her group disbanded. Wow. If that is not fate, I don't know what is. Now that MISA had joined Band-Maid, it's a new start for our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem: the maid outfit. MISA was never into cosplay.
Again, it comes down to the maid outfit. If you watch my Akane one, I also said it. I think it's so funny how, like, the hesitancy comes with the maid outfit. And I could see, like, I would be hesitant too. I mean, I'm like a girly tomboy. But, like, I would be hesitant too at first. But it's something that works because it's not like the outfits outshine their music. In fact, it seems like, people will see them come out in those outfits and they'll be, oh, this is, a gimmicky band, and then, like, get blown away by their playing. You think that I was like, what are you talking about, Roger, when he found me somehow? I guess his puppets told him about me, and he told me to check out Band-Maid, and I was like, am I reading that right? Just the hesitancy across the board for the outfits. It's funny.
So she wasn't used to wearing this kind of clothing. She felt really uncomfortable during the first live shows and with the first version of her outfit.
I could see why.
It was also around this time when MISA thought about quitting Band-Maid. It was during the first or second one-man performance, and MISA was already working a lot in addition to her work for Band-Maid, so she was in really bad physical and mental condition. She felt that the music she liked was too far from the music she played with the band, and started to think about leaving. And
Well, those are, like, valid concerns, though, right? Like, it's a valid concern. Because you want to make sure you're a good fit for everything that's going on.
Forming a band where she could play the kind of music she liked. She talked to the manager, who proposed that she take a good look at the view from the stage, at the Masters and Princesses, and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day moved MISA deeply enough so she chose to stay with Band-Maid. She was sure that this band had great potential and could become way bigger. Time flies by, and we are at that moment where Konami is writing songs for the band. From world domination, but more in Conqueror and Unseen World, MISA actively participated in songwriting on her bass lines and has felt more freedom since then. Konami gives out notes from time to time depending on the song and what she has in mind. While writing music, MISA thinks more about what would serve the quality of the song rather than be sure that it's playable immediately. She had difficulties recording some songs of Unseen World because of that, but she managed to get them recorded in the end by spending more time on the hardest parts. And even if a song is really difficult for her, MISA will always practice enough so that she doesn't have to look at her hands while she's playing live. For example, the first part of No God was written by Konami, and she asked MISA to write the rest of the song. At this time, MISA was learning bass and drum programming, so she wrote those two parts, including her solo. It was a new experience for her.
I have no idea how anybody could hate on bass as an instrument at all. Just saying, I don't know. I have no idea. I know you guys as Band-Maid fans don't, but how you can hate such a beautiful and powerful instrument. Like, you feel when she plays that little snippet there. You can't tell me you did not feel that in your chest and in your soul, man, because that is chef's kiss right there.
And she had to send new riffs to Konami every week for Unseen World. And although she obviously sent her demos to Konami, MISA used to send them to another member, Psyche. MISA sent her work to Psyche to confirm that her bass line was easy to sing with, and also because Psyche praises her a lot. And MISA loves to be praised by Psyche when she's working on a new song. As she wrote in an interview, "I just send them to her without saying anything in order to get praised by her. That's my source of energy. That makes me enjoy drinking better." What a great group of friends they are. There are two particularities regarding MISA when you see her perform on stage. The first one is that she never wears shoes when she's playing, with some exceptions on very hot days during outside performances, as the stage can get really hot. This is something she has done since the beginning of Band-Maid. You can see her wearing shoes in some MV, but most of the time, she likes to play barefoot. She answered a question from a fan in 2014 on Twitter, saying that heels hurt her feet and are really hard to walk in, so she chose not to wear anything at all.
I myself do not like to wear shoes when I'm playing bass. I feel like you could feel everything much better when you're not wearing shoes. So I did not find it strange that she doesn't wear shoes. Everybody was like, "Oh, Mercy, do you think it's so goofy that she doesn't wear shoes?" Everything about MISA I find completely normal, and like a lot of people are like, "But she's strange." To me, she's normal.
MISA even ended up with the nickname the Barefoot Assassin. Why?
Makes sense.
Well, first of all, she plays barefoot. And during the Gold Rush interview, when the band was asked about the maid outfits, and particularly MISA's, which didn't look like a maid outfit, Miku answered that it's an assassin-made outfit. The second thing you'll notice about MISA is that she always has a bottle of whiskey on her amp while performing live. And she even drinks in the MV of Don't.
Okay, so she's like Lemmy from Motorhead. Like, I love it. Like, it's like, Misa's very Mercy. When you get to her, she's going to be thrown off by her. No! That's my home slice right there. There's nothing weird about her. What she's doing is completely normal.
You tell me. If you look closely at every performance, you can spot the bottle that she drinks during MCs. During the US tour in 2022, she even had her own opening ceremony where she opened a can of beer in front of her mic to make a loud sound, and the audience really loved that moment. MISA used to open a can of beer or drink whiskey during MCs for a long time, and she even shared a bit of her whiskey with a fan in 2019 during a concert in the New York Mercury Lounge. She is thought to be the one who drinks the most, but if you had a chance to listen to the Radio for Omesu-sama episode aired on August 1st, 2021, you would learn that they all actually drink a lot, except for Konami, who falls asleep before she gets a chance to drink.
Konami, my girl, we're kind of the same. That's why I can only have like a little bit. I can only have a little bit.
Despite her love for alcohol, MISA tweeted in May 2022 that she came to realize that it was too much for her and she decided to be more careful in the future.
Good.
And now it's time to talk about MISA's playstyle. As usual, I'll let proper bassists present their thoughts to you on what they think about MISA. Gentlemen, if you please.
So what makes MISA a great bassist? First of all, she went to musical school, so she learned a lot about music theory. You can see that in her playing. She's constantly moving around the wood note, adding or removing note at the end of her phrases, changing the tone by going all over the neck and not just staying at the low end. She masters all the playing style, finger style, slap, pick. She knows when to use them and always use the right one at the right moment. She can switch from one to another in a blink of an eye, like when she does her pick flip to switch from pick to slap. Her right hand work is so smooth and precise. It's mesmerizing. When it comes to her role in the band, she's a lead bassist. She can flawlessly jump from just playing the root note to taking the lead or providing an harmony to the vocals, and all of this in the same bar. There is no boundaries in her playing. That's what makes her so interesting and very inspiring to me. She's my favorite bassist, and I hope to hear her and Band-Maid for a lot more years.
When I think back about all of the bands that I've loved for many years, so many great bass players, but when I think of the bassists who really excited me, or more importantly, the ones whose parts I wanted to learn how to play, I think they all have kind of one thing in common. And that's the use of the bass, not just as a tonal and rhythmic foundation for a song or that kind of glue that holds a band together, but they use the instrument as another source of melody and melodicism and musicality. And I think there are far fewer of those kinds of bassists out there. So imagine my delight as a bassist discovering Band-Maid, where you have MISA, who's just constantly up and down the neck playing what aren't super complicated parts, but making these really musical choices about a note here versus a note here. She's in many ways a counterpart to Konami in that they're always expanding on a riff or adding new textures or new little motifs. They may play something fairly straight the first time, but after that, forget it. And it's not, again, like the parts are super complicated or technically difficult. They're just really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really musical.
How would I describe MISA's playing style? That's a tall order. What makes her special to me is her writing and her flawless ability to judge what to play and when to play it, without shying away from taking up space. She doesn't just serve the song, filling out the lower frequencies, locking up with the drums. She's actively creating a large portion of what makes the songs what they are. The groove, drive, momentum, anticipation, tension. It's like all her parts serve a purpose larger than just playing notes that work in the right tempo. She really adds another thick layer to the onion that is Band-Maid. One of my favorite habits of hers is when she's having a bit of a bass solo during the guitar solo, as can be heard in Manners and Reincarnation, for example. It's so backwards to the old tropes about backing down during a solo, but it's always so tastefully made and never distracting, rather the opposite. She also has this ability to tap into what the other instruments are doing and create her own parts from that, seamlessly switching between what instruments to follow. A prime example of that can be heard in the second verse of About Us, especially in the live version. She starts out by
I don't think I've heard that one.
establishing the groove with the drums for the first 3 bars, and then a fill during the 4th bar, setting herself up for the next 4 bars, where she gradually starts playing off the vocals. The first 2 bars by matching the vocal phrases subdivided by 16th notes, and for the second 2 bars, now the transition is complete, and now she just plays a lower harmony to the vocals. After that, she immediately switches to locking up rhythmically to Kanami's octave climb for 1 bar, and then, for the last bar, she rounds everything off with a little fill of 16th notes, almost like a drum fill. All that during 10 bars. Her playing and writing is a big reason why I keep coming back to their music over and over again.
Thank you very much for taking the time to share.
I agree with everything those gentlemen have said, and I don't think I could have put it better myself. It's just amazing how it seems like so natural to her, and like nothing is forced. And like they said, she could be lead too. So it's very great. You can tell she takes her musicianship seriously, but also that it's also like natural to her. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of times people take their musicianship seriously, but if it's not natural to them, you could kind of tell when their playing style is more robotic, whereas like hers, it's like her bass becomes an extension of her. And I really love the fact that her outfit is more of like an assassin. It's more badass, and it stands out amongst the other ladies. And they found a way to make her more comfortable while still being within what they wanted for Band-Maid. I just now noticed that her and Seiki kind of have their own versions, right? And the other 3 have the kind of, I guess, regular outfits.
Share your experience and knowledge and your feelings regarding MISA's playstyle. I wonder what you, the viewer, what do you think of MISA as a bassist?
I think she is fantastic, and that she blows me away every time, and that she's a really good motivator to get back into playing, even if it's just for fun. It's just that passion that she has and the energy that she has. Like the gentleman said, that's very, very unique. Not a lot of people tend to do that. And I think it's because, people talk crap about bassists all the time. Have you guys ever listened to music without bass? It sounds pretty damn empty. So love your buddies who are bass players. Holy tongue twister at 1 a.m. Whew, all right, let's go.
I'm very interested to know what's on your mind. Let's move to the end of our journey. MISA learned to play a lot of instruments, and even though she knew which ones she wanted to learn, she ended up playing the one instrument she never even thought about. From the moment she picked up a bass, MISA never stopped playing it. She loves bass so much that she even switched courses to become a professional bassist and live from her passion. In the end, MISA ended up with Band-Maid thanks to the boldest move and the perfect timing. And Band-Maid is a band where everyone shines. Everyone has a moment in every song.
And I think that's what I like about Band-Maid too, is like he said, each one has a moment, right? They are all appreciative of the musicianship and the talent of their peers, which again is unique because a lot of times in a band you get this dynamic where the front person is just really egotistical and wants it all about them, and then you don't have this mutual respect and adoration and everything. And somehow these ladies have managed to not only be great professionals with each other, but have this really unique bond as friends as well, which I think goes a long way. And I really hope that they will start breaking the stereotypes and like all these negative things about being musicians and like see this positive, because it is positivity. This is like the positive side that we don't get to see much about, right? Things that do work. A lot of times it's focused on the stuff that doesn't work and the drama because all that shit sells, right? But then you've got these little like, no, this is what happened. Yeah, we've got trials just like everybody else, but look at us go, and they just keep getting better and better.
To seeing guitarists and drummers being highlighted, but bassists? That's not very common.
No, it's not.
How many bands that you listen to allow their bassists to really shine? I'm talking about
Very
bands
few.
with 2 guitars or a guitar and a piano. I'm sure you can find some examples, but since its creation, Band-Maid has always found a way to allow MISA to find her spotlight. From Thrill.
It's kind of funny because like these ladies over here, they're like rocking and rocking and rocking, and they're like Misa's over there in her own little world, but somehow still connected to their world.
To influencer. Dice. Or even manners. During live performances, introducing a song, or to go crazy on a duel with Konami.
I love when they do this.
Even though Misa's personality is mostly introverted, when she is on stage playing bass, she seems finally free and is having the time of her life. She even learned programming and participated actively in the songwriting process. Since she joined Band-Maid, MISA followed her passion to become a professional bassist and surrounded herself with the best group of friends who have become very close to what we can call a family.
I'd probably be that way too. It's so awkward. It's kind of like when people sing happy birthday to you and you're just like, what do I do while everybody's staring at me singing? That's what that little thing reminded me of. That, my friends, I would have to say is my favorite so far, but maybe I'm biased because I love bass that much. Everything about her, though, I didn't find it shocking, like I mentioned before. It's just what I kind of figured MISA would be like. So, you know, and it's because, like, usually, like, you know, a lot of us introverted folks like playing bass sometimes. Except for my one friend. She was very extroverted. She would like break a bass all the time. It was very, very strange. Very hyper woman. But everything about her sticks out. Even if she's quiet and likes to be in the shadows, her music speaks for herself. So this is actually really fun. Now I have the parts 1, 2, and 3 about Miku left. So I will be doing those next. If you haven't already, you could check out my reactions to Seiki, Konami, and Akane. They're up there. And I really appreciate these documentaries because now, like, I think I'll be able to, when I do react to Band-Maid songs, I will know more, like, about them to react more properly because they're a very complex band in a way, you know? they stand out, and going in blind, it's like, wow. So now I understand why you guys love them so much more. And I love going on this journey. So thank you guys so much. If you would like to hang out with me on October 4th at 9 a.m. Eastern, I will be doing a Patreon only live stream for 80 said to do the 10th anniversary show for Band-Maid. Now you can join Patreon for free to access that one. I put a lot of cool stuff on over there, so if you want to go over there and hang out and talk about it, that will be there. That's October 4th at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm getting up early for you guys. Wow. Normally I don't go to bed till like 3 a.m., but hey, we're going to do this. I think it's going to be a really great time. And on Saturdays, we do music reaction live stream. So if you would like to show up, come on down. Have your requests. We like hanging out and talking. Sometimes we have a movie first, and then we have a music reaction after, and sometimes we have them just strictly music. You can go ahead and check the live tab on the channel to see which ones are the music ones, and hit that notification button. Hit that notify me button, and it will let you know when that one goes live. Also, big shout out to all of the people that have been supporting this channel via Patreon and Coffee. Thank you guys so much. And also thank you guys for the super thanks. A lot of the people that are over on the Coffee are also doing the super thanks as well. So I appreciate you guys so much for supporting the channel. And I look forward to growing as a creator. And I look forward to reacting to more Band-Maid stuff. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I talked to ATL about this, and I think I'm gonna start listening to full albums of Band-Maid and actually like doing deep dives and stuff like that. So I think that'll help me appreciate them more and get more into it when I go to react to them, so I could be a better commentator as well. Thanks for being here with me today. Stay spooky. Always salt your blinker. You know, all that life advice that we were all passed down. Have a good one, guys. Bye.